Hi FIN230 students. I just thought that I would talk to you a little bit about Assessment 2 and what I was looking for in your responses, I guess. Now, it has 3 questions. Okay, so question 1 and question 3 are written responses and question 2 are calculations. So what I'm talking about here, and when I talk about this marking guide that I've put up for you to have a look at before you submit your assignment, is how I'm going to assess the written parts of that assessment. So in other words, question 1 and question 3. Okay, and sort of what marks I'm going to give for what and how I'm actually going to view it, because I think that's helpful to know that before you submit that assessment for marking. Now, with respect to the calculations, you just need to calculate the correct answer. Okay, I'd like you to show me your workings and to get a correct answer. So it's a fairly straightforward process. So question 2 is just, basic bill and bond pricing. So that's how you should proceed with question 2. Just straightforward, show me the steps of the calculations and calculate the correct price and holding period, yield, etc. For questions 1 and question 3, it's not as sort of straightforward as a calculation question, I guess. So I'd like to talk to you about the components that I'll be looking for in your responses. So in this marking guide, I want to draw your attention to the criteria that I'm going to use. So you can see that over here. I've got writing style as one of them and content as the other. And I have equally weighted those. Now this marking guide will be for marks out of 10. Okay, now I know that question 1 has 2 components and there are 5 marks assigned to each. That's fine. You can just think of this as, there's a maximum of 2 marks if you're just looking at part A and a maximum of 2 here. So you halve the marks. The entire question is still marked out of 10. Okay? Now, why do I equally weight them? I'm very big in believing that how you construct an answer and how you write is a critical component of a degree. That you need to be able to communicate your ideas in writing well, and you need to be able to succinctly explain ideas and to structure an answer properly. And those skills are generic and useful throughout any workplace. Okay, so I give that equal weighting as to how you do it, as to what information you're including, which is the second part of that criteria. So if we then, so that's the first thing. They are the 2 main criteria I'm going to use. I'll come to the other 2 in a minute, but these are the 2, 8 out of 10 marks go to what you're saying and how you're saying it, if you like to think of it that way. Now, if we look up here at the high distinction level, so this is sort of, my perfect answer, if you like. I want you to have written clearly and concisely with a logical progression of ideas and supporting information. Okay, so that's what you're aiming for. And if you read through the different categories, for example, down here at the pass level, we've got the content is vague in conveying a point of view and does not create a strong sense of purpose. In other words, you're all over the shop. Okay, I can't get the theme of what you're trying to say. And so I guess it is a subjective assessment by me on what constitutes good writing, but I feel fairly confident to make that assessment, I guess. I've been doing this a while. Now, in the second component, which is your actual information, so what you're telling me rather than how you're saying it, your information at the HD level is accurate and comprehensive. In other words, you have fully explained all the details that you need to in that answer. But the second part of that is that there's no irrelevant or extraneous material included. In other words, you haven't taken a scattergun approach to the answer and just stuck in every single piece of information that's out there. You've actually answered the question, not given me an entire overview of the topic area. And that's pretty important. What you leave out is sometimes as important as what you include. Okay, answer the question. Don't just tell me everything, for example, about monetary policy, for example, in question 3. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you a quite specific question there. And why I'm asking that is because I want you to be quite specific in response. Okay? So, and again, comparing that to the past level, we can see that you might have a few errors in terms of accuracy. There may be irrelevant or extraneous material included. So in other words, I have got no sense of what you know. You've included so much information here that I don't know if you can really understand or have a handle on the topic. Okay, and that's why I've included those components. Now, if we come down to the other two criteria, where there are 1 mark, a maximum of 1 mark each, these are the mechanics of writing. In other words, have you run a spell check over it? Have you used a capital letter to start the sentence? Those types of very basic, English language conventions. I expect everyone to get a mark there, okay? I hope. But I will be taking them off if there are significant errors in terms of that just basic writing style. It's all just about presentation skills. The last criteria are referencing. Okay, you need to include in-text references where you've taken direct quotes from the text or other readings. You need to acknowledge the source of your ideas. Okay, now if you need help on that or on the style of referencing that CSU uses, which is the APA style, then in the subject outlines there are links to significant resources which will help you with that. Okay, so really it's just your basic referencing style, and I again would expect everyone to get that full mark. Okay, this is not difficult things to achieve. Okay, so this is really mechanical stuff on the second page. The first page, I guess, is where the action is, if you like to think of it that way. And again, as I said, these will refer to your written responses in questions 1 and 3 of that assessment. Now, I don't think it's a particularly difficult assessment task. I think that it's something that is well within everyone's range to get high marks on. Okay, and that's my hope. I've got no problem giving out high distinctions in terms of the quality of your responses to these assessment items. I'm not grading this in any way. Okay, guys, I hope that helps you in the preparation of your answers. I'll talk to you again soon.